Much of what we know about the Matsugane family dynamics comes from the stage play Kaito and the Missing 100 Million that I'll keep referring to throughout the series. Last week, I told you how Boss Matsugane's inability to command the respect of his family is core to the events of Judgment and is critical to Judgment's purpose in judging the mainline Yakuza franchise. Today, I'll be judging another crucial character to the Missing Millions plot, Toru Higashi. Light spoilers ahead. A longtime member of the Matsugane family, Toru Higashi worked under his Aniki, Kaito. In fact, he was there the day of the robbery, cowed in a corner. Now, to his credit, he did pull a short sword in an attempt to rescue Kaito, but it's clear from his position, shining Boss Matsugane's shoes, he's much too green to take on someone willing to rob a Yakuza office by themselves with one pistol, broad day. Though this is not our first time meeting Higashi, this is our introduction to his primary conflict throughout the game: honor versus order. The honorable thing to do would be to crash out, start throwing shoes and rush the thief, ideally giving Kaito enough time to overtake him or Higashi running the thief through himself. But one nod from Kaito is all he needs to back down. One might argue that Higashi was never built like that in the first place, but I disagree. Sure, he's no Kaito, definitely no Hamura, we'll get back to that. But I don't doubt that if Kaito had given him the word to jump, Higashi would do it without hesitation. Skipping ahead, having followed Kaito's orders, Higashi now reverts back to honor. If unable to stop the robbery, he must become retribution incarnate to avenge the transgression. As yagami, we learn the true identity of the thief. Well, as much as Red Nose counts as a true identity. And we learn that Higashi dedicated the weeks after the robbery to hunting down Red Nose. But in our first encounter with Higashi, he is shown to be a good-hearted man, an honorable one. So, we've been given decent reason to doubt that Higashi would murder a homeless patsy. When we finally confront Higashi about what happened to Red Nose, the game forces us to confront a truth about Yakuza as a criminal institution.
Sorry, Red Nose. This is nothing personal.
Captain?
Hey, that really a good idea?
Tell me, how'd you find out Red Nose was the thief?
What was I supposed to do? I told him everything. How I was in the office when the thief broke in and stole the money. How I bought police info from Ayabe and followed the trail to Red Nose. I kept talking, like my fucking life depended on it. Probably did, to be honest.
Real insightful. You did all that so you could clear your buddy Kaito's name, huh? Aren't you just the most loyal boy in town?
Please, don't shoot. Whatever it is you want. I'm begging you, Captain.
But Captain, hold on. You sure?
Probably right. You want to stay alive, you show us some loyalty. Prove yourself once and for all.
But how? How can I?
Here's how.
What?
He wouldn't have had to die if you didn't show your sorry face. Not only that, he would have walked away 10 million richer. Poor son of a bitch. His blood's on your hands, you know.
No!
Oh, wow. You scream like a fucking whore. Kind of a turn on, to be honest. What are you so upset for? You're finally a real Yakuza now.
Once again, I cannot stress enough that none of this would be possible if Boss Matsugane retained even a modicum of reverence from his men. He even laments the loss of Kaito later on, as if Kaito's earned respect is somehow transferred to himself. Anyway, the act of committing murder must change somebody inside, and I expect it changed Higashi in ways we can't really know. But at the same time the final bullet lodged itself into Red Nose's skull, Higashi locked himself into a cage. Pulling that trigger, forced or no, meant Higashi had no choice but to keep silent about what he knew. Not just about the money, there's no reason to hide that, but to hide the secrets of the true masterminds behind the robbery. And just as a cherry on top for going along, he gets an arcade where he gets to tell himself that he's doing good. He gets to sit removed from it all, continuing to launder money for the family, all while laundering the reputation of the demon, Hamura. Let's look at another cutscene that brilliantly reflects the initial conflict of honor versus order, just to drive the point home. Before we do that, be sure to like the video. Remember, this is a series, so subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode. Now, this cutscene does a lot narratively. We'll come back to it when we get to the Yagami video, but this is the first scene that Yagami and Higashi interact after Higashi professes his hatred of Yagami to Kaito, and Kaito explains some of Yagami's backstory. That's too much of a spoiler for later in this series, but we will come back to it. Instead, let me give you some other context. This scene takes place after a shooting outside the Matsugane family office by a member of the Kiyore clan. They'll get their own video. What you might notice is that the unfortunate Matsugane member on his way to an all-white party is dressed similarly to Hamura. He looks close enough to some Kiyore grunt who's never actually seen the man. So this drives Hamura into hiding, obviously. Enter Yagami, Kaito, and Sugiura. They've just been attacked by some Kiyore clan members after Yagami and Kaito tried to spy on their offices again. This is where the cutscene begins.
Guys, what the hell were you thinking coming here?
What? You don't want us around?
No, it's just, if Captain Hamura saw you here, he'd...
How's he gonna find us if he's off the grid? What are you worried about?
Yeah, but... forget it. Who's your friend?
Good question. I'm Sugiura. Fumiya Sugiura.
Hey, can you guys please take this shit elsewhere? Look, I need to close up shop. So you mind getting out of here? Not that you should have come to begin with.
Did you catch it? Basically, and we'll talk about this more as the series continues, Hamura represents order. In the absence of order, Higashi always reverts back to a sense of honor, what he knows to be right. Order would dictate that Higashi either snitch or fight or kill Kaito and Yagami himself. That being said, they fought enough that Higashi knows that there's no way that he's going to be able to take both of them on, and Hamura is in hiding anyway. So, in the absence of order, Higashi chooses honor. And I think this is really subtle in the cutscene, but it perfectly mirrors the situation from earlier. Without order, Higashi is a good man. So what does this say about the order that he is subjected to? The order of not just Hamura, but of the Matsugane family, the Tojo clan, and the Yakuza as an institution. We'll continue digging into Higashi later in the series, but I'll leave it here for now. Bye. Thank you guys for rocking with me till the end of the video, but while you're here, I want to show you something real quick. This is my returning viewer stat. There's at least 1,100 of you guys that have come back to watch another video. If you all could just do me a favor and sugarcoat that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it, as getting some traction on this channel will help me make better content for you. So, subscribe for better content. Bye.